Right, introducing my next guest on the show now. We have a young lady, singer, songwriter, vocalist. Her name is Kelly Oliver. I'd like to welcome you to the show, Kelly.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. So, how are you doing today?
I'm very good today, thank you.
Great stuff. Now let's get to it. Now we've got you are a singer, you're a songwriter,
Yep,
and
that's right.
you have a new album out. It's called Botany Bay. Tell us more.
That's right. So, usually I sing my own material, but this album is a full album of folk songs that have all been collected in my home county of Hertfordshire. So, if you're not a folk fan, what collected means is it means the song was originally written a long time ago, so kind of lost track of who the writer is. So they're anonymous, basically. So the collector was the person that heard them being sung in pubs or at gatherings, and then basically wrote down the notation and the lyrics. So all the songs were originally sung sort of in Hertfordshire.
Oh wow! And they're all
Yeah,
traditional folk songs, aren't they?
exactly. Yeah,
And the Botany Bay, does that have any particular reference to the landmark in Australia?
it is exactly. Yeah, it's where convicts from England and Ireland were sent, and so that's what the whole song is about, actually.
And Botany Bay features in the Fields of Athenry, which is an Irish song as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there are actually quite a lot of songs that reference it. So this one is, yeah, specifically about the kind of transportation, and a lot of convicts were sent there for really no crimes at all. Sometimes we're just stealing bread or stealing, a handkerchief or something like that. So yeah, I'm not surprised there's so many songs about it.
Okay, and it's got 10 tracks on this album, and they all vary from one another. Is that
That's right.
correct?
Yeah.
And the release date is the 28th of September.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you were touring in Scotland. How was that for you? Your touring and your
Yeah,
gigs.
it was great. It was just recently actually, and I've never actually been to Scotland before. So it was lovely to go there for the first time to actually be playing music. So I was gigging in some folk clubs in Scotland, and Scotland has a really sort of strong traditional culture as well. So yeah, it was lovely to be there, and Scotland's beautiful as well. So that's a lot of the fun of playing music and touring is that you get to see places that you would never usually go to, or you wouldn't usually get an opportunity to visit. So yeah, it's been lovely.
Yeah, so people are very nice up there, aren't they, Scott? The
Yeah, oh yeah,
Scots.
so lovely. Yeah, we didn't meet anyone miserable.
Wonderful.
Everyone was lovely.
And what was the weather like up there? Was it good?
It was surprisingly good.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, actually, there was the Storm Alley. I was actually driving up in the storm, but luckily it wasn't too bad. My car was weighed down with my guitars and all my things, so it wasn't too bad. But once we got there, the weather was actually okay. So that was, yeah, lucky
Lovely.
really.
And there's quite a few popular Scottish singers exports. Amy MacDonald is
Yeah,
is
yeah,
is one good export from Scotland. Who are
yeah.
your inspirations? Who did you grow up on in your when you first discovered
Mm.
music?
Well, initially, I didn't actually know about the folk scene at all until a few years ago. And I actually, in terms of singing and performing, I started by singing like musical theatre and singing in school choirs and things like that. So it wasn't until a few years ago when I went to Ireland for the first time. That's where I first heard sort of Irish folk music. And my family's Irish as well. So that's why I kind of went there in the first place. But yeah, it just kind of opened up this new world to me really. So that's kind of how I started, just by listening to those songs and then singing them, and then didn't realise there was a folk scene in the UK, and just stumbled across Hitchin Folk Club, which is one of the best in the country, and then just went from there really.
Amazing. And do you do many open mics, gigs? Do you do big arenas or small? Do you like the kind of like small intimate venues where you know?
Yeah, where you can kind of, yeah, kind of intimate venues really.
Yeah,
I have played some bigger
yeah,
gigs in the past, sort of
yeah.
festivals and things
Festivals.
like that. But in terms of my solo shows, yeah, usually intimate kind of venues,
Mhm.
where you can kind of yeah, have a bit of a rapport with the audience. So yeah,
It's more of a personal level, isn't it?
it is.
I think it's good for the fans as well. The
Mm.
people who discover your music, you got that connection there. Like rather than a big concert hall, you seem to be away
Yeah.
from the performer, don't you?
Yeah, and there's always a chance during the gig as well, or after, to have a chat if people want to. So yeah, it's a really nice sort of setting really
Sure.
to play a gig.
And our studio, where I am, is based in just outside South Birmingham. Were you at
Oh,
Bromsgrove the other week?
I was, yeah, at
Yes.
the Arctics,
Yeah. How
yeah.
did you find that?
Yeah, I loved it. It was really nice, really lovely sound, very welcoming audience because I'd not been there before, so it was my first time. So it was really nice. Um, yeah, it is lovely to go and visit, different venues
Different
that you've not.
places.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was
Yes.
really lovely.
Because I first discovered you in the Bromsgrove Standard. There was a big article
Oh right.
in you there, and
Oh,
it
lovely.
was amazing. And just a final question: what was the first record you bought?
The first record that would have been Michael Jackson, and it was Michael Jackson's "Bad." And I remember hearing one of the songs from it, and it was I just thought, oh, I really like this, so I bought that with that was the first CD I ever bought.
Great. Every
I
track,
still listen to it now.
yeah, every track on that's like a hit, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. And then I went on to buy loads of his other albums as well. So yeah, it just shows like the music that you listen to when you're young really stays with you, I think.
Yes, excellent. And
Mm.
what's your favourite decade of music?
Oh gosh, that's hard because recently I've been listening to mostly folk music.
Hmm.
So and actually I've been listening to a lot of sort of contemporary folk music or music that my peers are putting out. So at the minute I think in terms of folk, there's a lot of exciting stuff happening at the moment. There's a lot of kind of a new generation
Hmm.
coming through, and sort of just new styles being put towards the folk genre. So at the minute, yeah, I'm listening to a lot of contemporary folk, I'd say.
Sure. It's amazing how you when you listen to music, your tastes kind of like change over the weeks and the months, and then you come
Yeah.
back to it. You leave it, and then you come back to it.
Exactly. Yeah, you can always revisit it, but it's
Yeah.
lovely to also branch out and kind of listen to other
Hmm.
things. So I also like to listen to the radio, like Capital FM and
Yeah.
everything like that, just to sort of keep up with what else is out there, and because I used to listen to pop music as well
Hmm.
and enjoyed it. So yeah, I still try and listen to as much of other music and other genres as
Sure.
possible.
And were you ever into Fleetwood Mac at all, or a little bit of Nick Drake?
I,
Are they influences, maybe?
Fleetwood Mac, yeah, I wouldn't say they're influences, but I did listen to them. I do enjoy them.
Hmm.
It's not quite my style of music, but again, I like to listen. I yeah, enjoy listening to music that I wouldn't necessarily play
Sure.
or sing, but that I can still find enjoyment in. So yeah, definitely Fleetwood Mac.
Wonderful. So that's great interviewing you. That's a lot to learn from the interview, and folk
Yeah,
music as well. So
yeah.
it's been a pleasure interviewing
Oh, thanks
you
so
today.
much. Yeah,
And
yeah, lovely to chat.
we're going to preview your new song, if that's okay,
Thank you. Yeah,
from your album. And this
yeah.
is Kelly Oliver now with a new song from her album, Botany Bay, here on the Dannysun radio show. Thanks a million.